The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out, and behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
It's been said that if children brighten up a home, it's probably because they never turn the lights off. And I remember as a kid growing up, my sister would always leave the lights on. It would drive my parents crazy. Now that she has her own home and wants to conserve on electricity, you can bet that she's always turning those lights off after the little ones. And we do celebrate the Christ child who brightens up the home because Jesus is light itself. And that's what we celebrate in the Epiphany, the manifestation of God through the Christ child to the whole world. You know, in the beginning it was kept kind of secret. It was kind of a small circle of people who knew about this Christ child. And when you have something so tender and precious in the beginning, much like an infant, you tend to nurse it along carefully. And it was kind of a tight community of Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and a few others who had insight as to what was going on. Now the time is right, and we see that this Christ child is given to all of the nations, and it's portrayed by the kings. And these three kings represent people of every nation. So Christ is this light that cannot be contained, and he lights up the whole world. So he shines on you. Christ brings you his light, his warmth, and his love. And we are transformed in that light and love. We are different, aren't we, because of Jesus? So it is one thing to be enlightened for ourselves, and that's a wonderful thing. But now the question remains is this: what does Jesus want you to do with that great gift of being enlightened by his love? In the scriptures, Isaiah, the prophet, as we heard this morning, said, "Upon you, Jerusalem, the Lord will shine, and nations shall walk by your light." And so you, Bob or Sue or John or Tracy or Elaine or whatever your name is, whoever you are, does the light of Christ change you so that other people can walk by the light of Christ functioning through you? Has Christ changed your life to such a degree that people are inspired by you and that you are a sign of God's goodness? The kings knew how to see Jesus. He was no ordinary child. Most people in Bethlehem thought this was just another baby like any other baby, but not the kings. So how do we see Jesus Christ? Let us see Christ as the Magi did, as the light which transforms us and makes us believers, new people by which we will be led home another way.